Transparency International, which is an organization that seeks to stop corruption across all sectors of society, published its annual Corruption Perceptions Index report in February 2025. This 2024 report warns that corruption is a dangerous problem in every part of the world, and that there is a need to follow through with concrete action in order to address global corruption. If you would like to read the full report, please check out the link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button, and let's unpack some of the key highlights mentioned in the report. But before we get into the actual report, if you would like to understand more on the Corruption Perceptions Index and how Transparency International calculates it, please watch this short video under our channel. We'll include the link to this video in the description section below. We'll also pin the link in the comments section. But in short, the Corruption Perceptions Index is a recognized global indicator of public sector corruption. The index ranks approximately 180 countries and territories based on how corrupt their public sectors are perceived to be by experts and the business sector. The CPI score ranges from 0 to 100, where 0 indicates a perception of a highly corrupt public sector within the country, while a score of 100, or closer to 100, indicates a perception of a very clean public sector with minimum levels of corruption. So, what are the key highlights in the 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index report, as prepared by Transparency International? In this 2024 report, the top 10 countries which scored high and are perceived as less corrupt remain largely unchanged. Denmark and Finland retain the top spots, with their scores holding steady, while New Zealand, Norway, Switzerland, Sweden, and the Netherlands maintain their presence in the top tier. These countries have, however, all lost points. Notably, Norway has dropped 3 points since the 2023 CPI report, now scoring 81 out of 100, marking its lowest score ever recorded. A significant shift sees New Zealand falling out of the top 3 for the first time since 2012, while Singapore has moved up 2 places to claim the 3rd spot, with a score of 84 out of 100. Additionally, Luxembourg has risen to a joint 5th place, increasing its score by 3 points. Iceland and Australia have ascended to a joint 10th position. Australia gained 2 points, rising from 14th place, while Iceland made a remarkable leap of 5 points, jumping from 19th place. This upward movement underscores effective anti-corruption measures and increased transparency within their public sectors. In contrast, Germany has lost its 9th place ranking, dropping 3 points to settle at 15th place. This decline signals concerns over a burdened public service and the subversion of common policy for personal and business interests. While Bhutan, on the other hand, has made a significant stride by gaining 4 points and moving from 26th to 18th place. This improvement highlights Bhutan's ongoing efforts to strengthen governance and combat corruption. The report also analyzed corruption in these countries according to the type of government they run. What the report terms as full democracies, which consisted of 24 countries, have scored a CPI average of 73. While flawed democracies, consisting of 50 countries, scored an average score of 47, and non-democratic regimes, which included 95 countries, only scoring an average score of 33. This is essentially consistent with previous years, in which democratic nations continue to score highly. In contrast, countries perceived as authoritarian and autocratic, such as Venezuela, Somalia, and South Sudan, occupy the lowest positions in the rankings, alluding to the fact that the corruption levels in these countries are perceived to be high. The most substantial advancements come from the Middle East, with Saudi Arabia sitting at 38th place, having gained 7 points, and Bahrain, currently at 53rd place, which is an increase of 11 points, as well as Oman, sitting at 55th place, rising by 12 points. This positive movement is encouraging, especially given the region's history of authoritarian regimes and ongoing conflicts. Another notable development is the investment in technological solutions within public administration to enhance transparency. These efforts are a promising step toward reducing corruption and improving governance. Some of the most notable declines come from countries such as Japan, which declined by 2 points, scoring 71 out of 100, resulting in a drop from 16th to 20th place. This indicates challenges that need to be addressed to maintain its standing. Belgium, Austria, and France have each declined by 4 points, with Belgium moving from 16th to 22nd place, scoring 69 out of 100. While Austria and France both moved from a joint 20th position to a joint 25th place, each scoring 67 out of 100. These declines among major European countries raise concerns about the efficacy of their public services and the influence of personal and business interests over common policy. The United States, on the other hand, has lost 4 points, ranking 28th, which is a drop of 4 places with a score of 65 out of 100. Interestingly, just before the release of the CPI 2024 report, the White House announced that President Trump signed an executive order revising the enforcement guidelines for the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act of 1977. This move introduces uncertainty about how this may affect the U.S. rankings in the next CPI. The Middle East and North Africa are the only regions that improved its average score, increasing by 1 point to 39 out of 100. Despite being one of the lowest averages, this improvement is a positive sign in a region often challenged by corruption. While Europe, the Americas, and Asia-Pacific all experienced declines in their average scores. This illustrates that anti-corruption measures are globally falling short and underscores the need for renewed efforts. So, what does this mean? The overall trend is one of decline or stagnation in anti-corruption efforts. The need for more regulation and accountability at all levels of government has therefore become critical as global pressures like trade wars, political unrest, the climate crisis, and escalating hostilities increase and intensify. One of the more core focus of the 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index report is the threat corruption poses to climate action. Undue influence and business interests often hinder the adoption of necessary and ambitious policies, particularly affecting poorer nations and steering us away from a fair and sustainable world. So, how do we move forward from here? But before we discuss that, we'd like to take a quick moment to ask for your support. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up by clicking that like button below. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on our latest content. Remember, hitting that subscribe button is free, and it shows us that you appreciate what we do. Now, let's talk about how to move forward and how to combat corruption, based on the results of the 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index report. As an international community, there is a pressing need to enhance transparency by investing in technological solutions that promote openness in public administration. There is also a need to strengthen institutions through the building of robust systems that resist corruption and hold individuals accountable. Businesses and governments should also be encouraged to prioritize integrity over personal or corporate gain. Businesses, governments, as well as individuals, should also therefore stay informed about changes in enforcement guidelines and international anti-corruption laws. In conclusion, the shifts in the CPI 2024 rankings serve as a critical reminder that combating corruption requires continuous effort and adaptation. With nations like Singapore rising to the third spot, there's an opportunity to learn from their strategies, while being mindful of the risks that large financial hubs can pose in enabling corrupt practices. The reshuffling at the top also highlights that even the highest performing countries are not immune to fluctuations in perceived corruption levels. It underscores the necessity for continuous vigilance and proactive measures to combat corruption globally. Transparency and accountability are crucial in protecting public resources and in ensuring public policies achieve their objectives, as well as guarantee that public sector projects reach the communities most in need. Addressing corruption directly will rebuild trust and accelerate progress toward a sustainable world. So, out of these 180 countries and territories, how does your country measure up? Share your views by leaving us a comment below, and let's discuss this pervasive issue of corruption. And remember to check out the full report. Just click on the link in the description section below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and hit the like button. If you would like to know more on the topic of public sector corruption, please check out this video, under our channel. We've come to the end of this video, and if you found it insightful, please check out these other videos, under our channel. Also remember to press the like button, to show your support, and subscribe to our channel, for more content.